diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Oh, big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 338 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Mr. Primo in the building and Damn Skippy, a.k.a. Hollis Thomas. And we're talking about the Eagles' defense, stay or go, with a little bit of combine talk in between. But, you know, to be real, a lot of Eagle fans are in their feels about the front office doing something. Be patient, little grasshopper. If you haven't figured anything out about Howie Roseman, he's taking his time like he normally does. You saw what the beautiful work he did last season, which is going to be very tough to duplicate. But I wouldn't doubt Howie Roseman. Obviously, Eagle fans on the timeline are clamoring for guys to get tagged. No one got tagged. But you know, in this episode, we're gonna go through we're gonna go through the positions defensively and figure out, you know, in the heart of hearts, who we want to stay, who we want to go, who makes sense, and overall just kick through this roster. I mean, who are you guys clamoring for to come back this year? Just off the rip.
Oh, defense? Hargrave?
Okay.
Off the rip. Hargrave.
Yeah. Hargrave and Brandon Graham. I mean, definitely would like to. Yeah, today's kind of quiet, man. I mean, it's scary. You mentioned the fact that, you know, it's kind of hard to go ahead and match what he did last year. So already today was like the start of it, not franchise tagging anybody. So, you know, a lot of people, including myself, were thinking that CJ was going to be that guy to get tagged today, and that didn't happen. So it's like you sit here and you question, you know, what is Howie got in the works? The confidence level that he could go out there and either get somebody else, or is this, you know, just him being quiet because he might have something in plan to go ahead and maybe bring him back? I don't know. That's just the thing. Now we're back to playing the guessing game. So, you know, you mentioned that we got to be patient. Man, listen, patient runs out pretty quick here when it comes to these birds. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be interesting, and already started off being interesting by not franchise attacking anybody today.
Well, you know, I didn't expect to franchise anybody, because I think they're probably pretty close in the negotiations with pretty much whoever they're gonna pick, because they still got another week before free agency starts. So they can soon as that starts, you know, then that's where you start sweating. See, right now we still have the option to negotiate with the guys that we feel like we want to keep. It's like, I'm not really pressed on tagging people. When you tag people, don't do nothing but piss them off. Because once you tag somebody, that means that you put their negotiations on the back burner, because so you get other people that are around. And then when they tag you, you see everybody getting all that fresh new money, fresh brand new money, and you don't get nothing but the tag. You don't start getting paid until the season. Everybody else, when they sign their check, their guarantee part, depends on how they break it up. It's going to be a chunky signing bonus checks, at least 7, possibly 8 figures, you know. Damn.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, talking about, you know, man, my brain just went dead for a second.
Yeah.
It's the jacket, man. I think it's too fly.
You like it? Like the jacket?
Yeah,
You
I think it's nice, man.
It's a little off-season acquired this off-season.
I like that.
No, I'm just thinking about like how he's probably has, you know, in place. Like, hey, if you guys go out there and get some numbers, they have a walk-away number, but you know, you get your feels out there, see where you're at, and then they got their walk-away number. I just, at the end of the day, Chauncey is a guy that he made tremendous plays last year. He has every right to get his value. You know, I'm not going to stand in the way of any player trying to get their value when they can, because you never know with this league. You never know when your last play is your last. Go get your money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't be mad at them trying to go out there and get that paper. I mean, that's what they play the game for. I mean, he had an awesome year, so he definitely showed that. You know, I mean, he definitely deserves it. again, you mentioned a good thing where, like, yeah, he could go out there, test the waters a little bit, see what people are offering him, and then, maybe how he'll match it up, maybe how he'll go ahead and figure out something better. I don't know. That's just the thing. But I mean, Hollis, I know you said we're about a week away from the franchise. I mean, the free agency. Hey, that's definitely when the nail biter starts. So
I was like, I was never tagged, Mark. They always got me the season. Actually, I was always in the last year of most of my contracts. I was paid by before Christmas. They would sign me during the season. It was like, go out there and prove to me that you want this money. And I go out there and kick a little ass and take some names, Next thing you know, I'm sitting in the mink. No, but it's like, but I don't really worry about the tag. The part that because they can talk to the guys agents who are currently on the roster. They can still talk to those guys. I'll be worried if they weren't talking to my guy now. It'll let me know if I'm a priority or not. But because they're gonna run some numbers by some guys to see what's up. So once that first shoe hit, it's gonna be the day before the there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be the people that's gonna re-sign with their clubs. They're gonna re-sign like that either that day before or the day of.
Talk about some numbers here. I saw it in the chat a couple times already, but Daniel Jones and the Giants agree on a 4-year, $160 million deal, $35 million in incentives, $82 million over the first 2 years, $94 million virtually guaranteed at signing. First year cap number around 19 mil. This is from Ian Rappaport. So the Giants make their move. Some people say it was a deal. I don't like. It's up to them. But I definitely think they give some parameters for the Hurts deal. They know where the low end theory, which would be Daniel Jones, is.
He better get way more than that.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that's
Daniel
the low
Jones
end. This is the low end.
Let's cut the crap cake. The only reason we're happy about this damn signing is because he's in our division and he sucks ass. There's no other way to say it. He's had a half of a good season. Not even a half of a good season. I gave respect for Dan Ostrowski this week because he said, we're going to sit here, we're going to pay Daniel Jones more than 35 million, he's looking for more than 35 million. And he has yet to have a really good season. He had an okay season. And we're hanging our hats on that. Yeah, he showed some improvement. I was like, but it was one thing. It was a small sample size. To me, consistency is the key. And the decision making, he's got to have better decision making, and you just don't gain that overnight. It's something you just got to be within you. That's why the one thing that I always love about all my quarterbacks is decision making ability. He has trouble, which is good for us. Being go Birds, go Birds. Way to go, Daniel! Yeah, buy me a bottle. No, but I that's one of those signs where you scratch your head because then they leave Saquon Barkley out there. Yeah, but they did they franchise tagged him.
That's what I was getting at. I mean, earlier you made the comment that you're right. I didn't even think about that. Normally, when you go ahead and franchise tag somebody, that does put that kill in the back of their head. Like, damn, I got tagged. That really shows what they think of me. So I got to give, listen, mad props to the Giants for fucking this up. I give you all the props in the world. You signed that man for 4 years and all that money, and then you put the franchise tag on one of your best players. Respect the Barkley because he had a great year. Start off the season because you probably pissed him off just as well. So, hey, listen, man, you guys are on the right note. I hope there's a lot of Giants fans watching this shit because, I'm speaking from the heart. I can't stand y'all, and I love it because y'all starting off on a good note for the season. I love it.
I'm not mad at it. Do your thing, Giants. We'll fans will sit here and we'll do our thing over here. Do our thing. Tonight we're gonna do our thing. Talk about this defense. Let's start with the group, the linebacker group. I think overall, Nakobe Dean is waiting in the wings while TJ Edwards, some people might not have thought TJ Edwards would have brought his lunch pail like he did, but he did and showed out this year. You got Kaiser White came in on a 1-year deal, really showcases his flavor. Even though, we'll figure out who's coming back here. At the end of the day, you got Sean Bradley on special teams, Christian Ellis on special teams. I'm excited about the new pieces in this group. What do you guys think?
Well, T.J. Edwards is going to command a whole lot of cheese, so he's probably going to be gone. And it gives Nakobe Dean the ability to step right in, and then you probably going to have to draft a couple of guys in the later part of the rounds, like the third, fourth, and fifth round. There's a few guys that I saw, not only I saw in the combine, but that I saw throughout the year that have fit wherever the new guy is going to do. I think the one thing the new guy is probably going to do, he's probably going to draft one or two young linebackers to mold them into running the defense. So, along with Nakobe Dean. But the one thing that I do think that we're going to do is keep Kazir White. I think going to keep Kazir White because his ability to cover, and then you have Nakobe Dean as that thumper in the middle, and then obviously Hassan Reddick's not going anywhere, but he plays both. He plays both D line and LB, so it's kind of a catch-22 which one you want to keep him with. So I did like the way they stepped up this year. This was the actual first year that we, as the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, didn't bitch and moan about the linebackers. Because it's like, I'm gonna turn this over to Prime, because did you say something, Prime, when they drafted Nakobe Dean?
I did, and thank you for giving me the spotlight, because yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and still take props on pissing that man off at the Eagles Autism Challenge when I mentioned that we now have ourselves a linebacker. I didn't even notice until these guys brought it to my attention. He was walking by. He caught that statement. Hey, it is what it is. If it sparked him, put a firecracker in his ass, I did the job. He had a great year. I'm not going to take nothing from him, man. He stepped up. I mean, you look at this lineup. It's like you mentioned, man. We actually had a year that we were able to not say anything bad about our linebackers because they all played their asses off. I mean, Nakobe Dean, he's definitely ready. He showed that he's ready to go ahead and be on the spotlight. T.J. Edwards, I agree. I mean, he had a great year, and he's probably going to ask for quite a bit of money. Don't see that happening, so I can see him going. Kazir White, I definitely would love to bring him back. Hassan, you know the deal, man. You know what he is. You know what he's all about. So there's nothing to really say much about him. He speaks, with it all on the field. Those other guys, I mean, look, that's just the thing. I'm looking at this lineup, and I'm not too worried because it's the next man up mentality, and these guys are all in the perfect position to do that. So I think we'll be fine in our linebacker position. Now, are we going to talk about who's going to be the one to coach these guys? Because, I mean, there's a name out there that's being mentioned about coming in, but then there's also a player on our squad that isn't too happy about that. So it's just like up in the air, What are we going to do here,
That was weird. Matt Patricia.
That's
he's had a history with Darius Slay. Darius Slay has been very vocal about his relationship prior to the season starting, and then during the Super Bowl run, he mentioned it again. So obviously it's something on his mind. He did mention on Twitter, said he's got a lot of guys on this team that he kind of like gave the correct captain answer, which I appreciated on socials. But at the end of the day, like what did he say?
Let me hear what he said, so I can tell you exactly what he meant. What did he say?
Let me go find this thing.
So I can tell you exactly what he meant, because he's probably he doesn't coach DBs. That's the one thing he's probably going to say.
Well, I mean, it still feels weird just even to mention Matt Patricia. I mean, we're talking about somebody that was coaching staff of a team that we despised for quite a bit of years, and then to know that he's going to be, might have the potential of being one of our, linebacker coaches. I mean, it is weird. But look, Darius Slay, he actually played under this guy, so he knows what this guy is all about. So I'm listening to our captain. I'm listening to what he's saying, what's on the back of his mind. He has the history with the guy. So, we got to put and take all that into initiative on what he's all about. I mean, he's coached the team. He's coached Detroit. He wasn't the greatest. He didn't play that role that well. No. So it's just like, all right, what's going on
and
here?
Then they played him, had him at offensive coordinator. That offensive coordinator with the Patriots last year. I was like, to me he was always a pretty decent.
Was it the pencil? Coordinator. Was it the pencil? Was it the pencil?
The pencil problem. I was thinking about they moved him to offensive coordinator. He's a defensive coordinator. They moved to the offense coordinator for the Patriots last year. I was like, wait a minute, what? But it's like
sounds like Casher, right?
Yeah, sounds like when we moved Juan Castillas.
Juan Castillas, I'm sorry, Juan
Castillas to defense coordinator from the offensive line coach. But it was in any event. Sometimes you do have a bone to pick with some coaches. If he's not coaching you, I mean, it's not going to cause a rift between them.
I hope not.
I'm still
not.
I'm still looking for that actual quote here, but But he said, but I mean, you know, he did talk on his extension. He said, "I love Philly, man. I plan on staying in Philly, but if it don't happen, I know I got one more year left here. I want an extension with the Eagles. I love the Eagles. They took another chance on me, trading for me, and I panned out, of course." That was Darius Slay on his extension. But just talking about, you know, while we're at it, just talking about position coaches here. Coming and going. Denard Wilson, a big player favorite amongst the secondary. A lot of players are lobbying for him to be the guy, to be the defensive coordinator. Obviously, Desai got the job, but Denard Wilson, you know, there was talks about recently this morning about you know, he got fired. And didn't get mutually parted ways. Mutually parted ways can also be, you know, that's HR talk for, like, you know.
Mutually parted ways mean we agreed on some money. But when you fired, it's a whole different thing. They still got to pay you all your money unless you get another job. But they still have to pay you all your money. Mutually parted ways meant the child both agreed to go your separate ways. When you fired, you weren't ready to go yet.
I mean, there's obviously a story behind it. I mean, you know, not definitely taking nothing away from that. He linebacker coach, and now he has the opportunity. Well, not that he has. He has now been given the opportunity to be the defensive back coach in Baltimore. I saw that post a little while ago. So I mean, like, hey, so what's the story behind it? Is there something that is not being mentioned? Did something go wrong between them? Between him and Nick? I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. I've heard the same thing that a lot of players were calling for him to be the defensive coordinator. So it must have happened. And are we going to find out later on, or, you know, I mean, what's the deal behind that? I don't know.
I mean, the job that he took with the Ravens is essentially the same job, pretty much. So I mean, I'd find it very odd that he wouldn't want to stay, because I, you know, listen to the Sirianni presser, or he mentioned that you know, I think the relationship, maybe, I don't know if it's there like we want it to be there, you know, because obviously I think he would have stayed, man. He would have stayed with his guys. I felt like he had a good relationship. Or if he's trying to flex his like, hey man, I felt as Brian Johnson gets a chance to elevate, I think I have an opportunity to elevate. The little level of disrespect, I'll go somewhere else. Just like Deuce, you got an opportunity to interview for the head coaching job. That didn't happen.
Yeah, the Deuce one was a little different though.
Right, but
Deuce had been there for a long ass time, and the interview for the head coaching job a couple of times. It was never the coordinator. You got me staying here, but you're not moving me up. This is kind of different because Sirianni hired him, or Gannon hired him, or whatever the hell it was. I was like, whatever happened, he just got fired. I was like, you got to put it this way. I'm not gonna let him. If I'm playing, I'm not gonna let him. I'm not gonna worry about him no more. I'm sorry he got fired, but time must carry on. Life goes on.
Life goes on. Is that it?
Yeah, life goes on. What you gonna do?
You gonna send him a card?
What, like? No, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. Carry on with life.
Carry on. Just like we carry on with life, we're gonna carry on to positions here.
Yes, please do.
let's go to.
We
let's
did
go
waste
to
a lot of time there.
Let's go to the big dogs. Big dogs in this group. Obviously, I added Hassan and the edge rushers over here, linebackers. Right. Hassan Reddick. At the end of the day, he came in, did his did his damn thing, actually. Very excited about what he brings to the table. He's the versatile chess piece in this mix. Brandon Graham, we talked about on the timeline about him coming back. Shout out to my guy Joe Castro, who beat Howard Eskin with that news about a two-year deal possibly coming back. And also shout out to Jesse Wines because he posted it on his story, and Brandon Graham hearted it. So, hey, well, I don't know what that means. But looking at this group, I don't know what that means, man. Looking at the middle of the group, Javon Hargrave, a guy who, played his ass off, 11 sacks from the interior, very impressive. 11 sacks coming off the bench. Brandon Graham, also impressive. But the middle of the defense, along with Fletcher Cox. Fletcher Cox could be the guy on the outside looking in. Javon Hargrave, one of the top free agents to be had. And then we have Milt Williams, who is a very nice rotational piece, along with the, Jordan Davis, the first round draft pick of last season, who's coming into his own. Josh Sweat as well, man. Josh Sweat, man, he had an amazing season. As much as we talk about Hassan doing his damn thing, I think Josh Sweat had a great season.
Yeah, the one thing that I don't want to be missed in this in that front is the guys in the middle who are crushing their pockets, so those guys on the outside could get those sacks. I didn't. When you watch a pass rush, that was the one thing that pissed me off in the Super Bowl. We didn't put our guys in the middle in one-on-one confrontation so they could crush the pocket. We kept opening up the middle, that Patrick Mahomes would step up and run and put our secondary in the bind. The one thing that these guys did for the most part with the 4-man rush was crush the pocket so that our guys could get all those sacks on the edge. And they got some sacks themselves. The one thing I don't want to lose is Hargrave, HG. I don't want to lose him. Fletcher's probably gonna. He may stay. He may go. He may get sit in the middle and stay. But then you also they're probably gonna look to draft somebody because they always be looking to get better. So you probably the one kid that I think they probably end up drafting if he falls to him late in the first round is a kid out of Pitt, University of Pitt.
Cool.
He's a little bit of a he's a little bit of a beast. So I mean. They're gonna always be looking to get better. Howard's always gonna be looking to get better. So, and it depends on what Dasani run.
I mean, that's part of my bad.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's part of the business, man. That's just you have a great year, and then when the year comes to an end, it's just like you have that in the back of your mind, like shit, who's staying, who's going. This is one position that's definitely tough. I mean, we're talking about some veterans that we grew to love throughout all these years. Fletcher, Brandon, I mean. Hassan Reddick has always been a fan favorite. Josh Sweat had a great year. You got Hargrave in there. Hargrave is definitely a key person that I'm hoping to God that they go ahead and come up with some type of agreement to keep him here. Jordan Davis going into his second year. I mean, the kid's he's bright, he's big. He can do his thing. So he's definitely going to be stepping into that spotlight. And then this is one position that I got to say that Howie, he doesn't seem to fail at, man, when it comes to drafting. And he picked some, talented players. I forgot to mention Milton Williams. Look what he did. This is one guy that I was not really sure of. And then look.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean,
I wasn't either.
But he did his thing. He played it to his potential. He filled in when he needed to. So those I see all these names. There's only one name that sticks out, that I'm ready to go ahead and kick that boy out anytime.
Can't get right.
You know what I'm saying? He's ready. I'm ready for them to go ahead and cancel that boy out. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that I don't think. Yeah, because I don't think he only signed a 1-year deal, right? He only signed a 1-year deal, and then he got hurt. So, I think
he's still on the.
He's still
rookie contract.
No, they picked up his 5th-year option, didn't they?
Mm.
And then they I think they signed up to like a 1-year deal after that.
At the end of the day, if Fletcher goes, listen, man, it's going to be hard, but I mean,
that's going to be hard as fuck.
That's going to be hard. That's going to be hard.
That's going to be hard, and I think it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard on him too. I think they personally, it actually depends. It depends on where his head's at and what he's talking about. So,
Now, let's see here. He's still on. He's still on for this year. His base salary is $1 million. His cap hit is $3.1 million. The dead cap. Let's see. The potential out year is this year.
Derek Barnett.
with Derek Barnett?
Can't get right. Gotcha.
Yep.
Can't get right.
Talking about, you bring up Kalijah Cansey. You know, if we're going to sprinkle in some combine thoughts, well, might as well speak on it. He ran a 4.67, fastest time since some guy named Aaron Donald went to the same school. Not the same exact player, but in terms of a technician, you talk about hand usage and bag of tricks for a young dude.
Getting that field, destroying. Yeah, I spent
all day watching.
I watched some of his tape, and I watched some of his games mostly. And I like the fact that he be taking them games. Some of the games he was taking over. Like, he was a man amongst boys. He was doing what I like to call backfield bootlegging. He just play backfield all day long, creating havoc. And making plays. That's what you need. You need to jump off. When somebody turns on the film, if you don't jump off the film, I kind of don't want you on my squad. I mean, you know.
And that's the thing when I'm looking at some of these defensive linemen, you know, guys that like the Miles Murphy or the Percy at Clemson, like he's doing things that the way that he fires off the ball. Again, like you're starting to see him rise up in mocks, and some draft folks that I watched have been high on him since January and called him a top 15 player. You're starting to see him getting mocked to us. And some Eagle fans are like, not going to draft the DT with a 280 with short. Just go watch the tape.
Go watch the tape.
Just watch the tape. That's what I'm doing. I spent all day watching him today, just to rewatch after that combine performance. But overall, talking about this group, I think you could add an edge rusher to this group in the draft. You can have defensive line anywhere across the field. You could bring one in.
Yeah, but it's also, you got to look at 29-year-old Frank Clark, who's about to be released.
He is already released.
Yeah.
Isn't he?
Oh, did he?
So that's what I said. Yeah. So when I say free agency dictates what you do in the draft. We got Reddick, we got Sweat. A 29-year-old Frank Clark wouldn't be that bad. and to go along with BG,
going back against his favorite team. To pull a Bradberry, maybe. Now, Nolan Smith, another guy who balled out at the combine, a little undersized, but he showed some athleticism. A lot of these Georgia dogs, including Jalen Carter, making some headlines.
Oh god, yeah. That was awkward.
That was very awkward, and it's just like, I don't know.
He was in his interview, and he looked at his phone. It's like, the one off of your arrest. I gotta go. I was like, wow.
I mean, he'll be all right. I think his situation.
Disaster.
I just think it's very weird how these stories drop on particular times.
Never fails.
They wait for him.
I think I get more. I think I have more anticipation on what is going to be the headline news of one of these players going into the combine. There's always something. And look, now it came out about Jalen Carter. I mean, when the incident first happened at the Georgia game, the national championship, I didn't hear. I mean, I heard he was involved, but I didn't hear about he had driving reckless and all that stuff. So it was just
was racing. Well, see. When you listen to what they said, apparently he gave them a fable and told him some stuff. He was racing and came back and was helping. It's a long, drawn out story, but basically he kind of lied to the police.
It's crazy.
His story is not matching up with the evidence and stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're, I'm just saying. Like, your friend will like, get out of here. You don't need to be involved in. I'm sure. I'm not going to speak on it. It's a tough situation. I'm just saying. I think it's just weird. It's just weird how a lot of this stuff gets dropped at the right specific time when it's draft season. but we'll see. We'll let it all play out, but we'll see.
I just work here. I just work here.
Hey, man. It is
Kinda
there's
like
a lot.
that-
There's a lot of news. Did you guys see the Joe Mixon situation where shots were fired? Like, and the Nerf gun was involved. I know Prime got his little series on social media where they be pulling out Nerf gun, but this is a real situation with Mixon. I don't know what is going on between John Morant, Joe Mixon. What is Mixon in the universe right now?
I don't know. But Mixon, Mixon. No, it was supposed to be something where he pulled out a gun. He pulled out a. Apparently, they say he brandished a gun, and I guess it wasn't a gun. But it's is that what you're talking about when that happened?
This happened like this morning, isn't it?
This happened this morning.
Anderson Township, shots fired.
Yeah. Shots fired.
Shots fired. Real shots.
Real shots.
Real shots. They shooting. Somebody shooting.
Talking about
your ass down, Jack.
T. Carmack had a question for you, Hollis. He said, "What do you think of Tracy Rocker?"
I like Tracy. I thought he had a good chance to be the coordinator. He's a good. I think he's a really good teacher as far as the pass rush and the run defense. It's like he's like one of those rare coaches that you can see that he puts time into the guys hand work and hand movements and stuff, and getting them, keep your pad level low and getting your hands on people and throwing them around and treat them like street trash. But I watched his practice and some of his drills. I think he's a real good teacher. I think he's going to get an opportunity to be a defense coordinator pretty soon.
Now, speaking of another question here, we got from Dave. He's talking about offense, but we'll have at it. My thoughts: drafting O-line with the first pick. This is still, this is not out of question. I just think there's some guys if they love. There was he said Paris. He showed out at the combine. The athleticism was great to see on tape. You talk about he's played inside.
He's played outside.
Played outside. You like the versatility. What's Northwestern Skoronsky, another player. But I think it's like this, and that is a good question. I think it depends on who falls to us at that 10th pick, or what Kelsey does,
or
what Kelsey does.
Yeah, that too. But it's also and what Bradberry does. You also got to look at too. It's like if it's a corner that's rated higher, than the offensive tackle that you're thinking of taking. You take it with that second. You take somebody with that second first round pick that'll be there. It's like we need a corner depending on what you do in free agency. You're gonna need another corner.
We haven't drafted a corner since Lito Shepherd in the first round. Yeah, I think it's about time.
It's about time.
It's about time.
That's definitely
now, Devin. Now we all agree Devin Witherspoon was on our wish list. I kind of like Christian Gonzalez, but I kind of didn't like the fact that he was chasing his college coach. He went from Colorado to Oregon with his college defensive back coach. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But
he's trying to showcase the talent, going on a bigger stage. Oregon gets all the love, or Oregon, or because
Mark's in here in the comments. He definitely has that love for
DJ
Oregon.
Turner.
Oh, from Michigan.
Oh yeah.
What are you running, like a 4.2 something?
4.26.
Are you guys not on the Joey Porter Jr. hype?
I like
those three guys, man. Those are all in good range.
You know what I like Joey Porter Jr. Joey Porter Jr. is game for if you come at him, he's trying to stop you from getting the ball. And you don't see I just like the kid. He's tough and he plays pretty good. But Devin Witherspoon gives you that extra element of coming up and laying a thigh out on the run.
Yeah, Witherspoon, like I said in the last episode, I think I drove all the way down to the Senior Bowl just to see him if he was even a vet. Like he wasn't there. I was very depressed after that.
Did you call to tell him?
I understood why he did. Well, and then I was like, all right, at least I get to see him at the at the combine. Then he has a hammy issue, and I'm like, I was like, please,
Bob, hell no.
Yeah,
that's a hell no from me.
Bob Marcus Peters is he talks a lot of shit and gets toasted a lot, he does all the time. And they're not gonna let him. They're gonna re-sign him down there because he's a staple of the Ravens. So
burnt toast at that.
Well, one of his favorite sayings is, "You feel me? You feel me? You feel me?"
Apparently not, because you're toast. Warm buttered toast.
No, I mean, I just thinking about this, the way that this draft is going to fall right now. I think it's kind of suiting what our needs right now. Like, I feel like we're in a good spot right now. We're in a good situation.
The other thing is too, you got some decisions that have to be made in order for us to go ahead and come up with a great game plan for the draft. And when are we going to get these decisions made, man? That's just the other thing. That's just like,
Now, this has been another topic on the timeline. Bijon Robinson from Texas. Everybody has been talking about. I think
big dog.
He's got it all. He's got it all. Like he can line up wide, run routes. His footwork is nice. He's got the complete package. Recently mocked
Roshan.
I thought who was Brugler had a mock to us, moving back to 14.
Yeah.
And picking him up. I don't know.
I personally think that they're gonna wait to the second round or late first round and take his teammate Johnson, who's a little bit bigger, 6'2", 223, and he's rated the best at in RPOs, the best running back in RPOs, running RPOs.
Yeah, watch Bijon Johnson at Senior Bowl.
Yeah, and then also McBride from what school is he from?
Dwayne McBride.
Yeah. Both of those guys are beasts. He's like, we had the scat thing, and I like Bijon. Bijon is his name means hero, by the way. Did you know that?
No.
His first name.
You said it last show, my guy.
I know. I wanted to make sure you guys heard me.
I see. I'll be listening. Man.
Well, actually, that's not because Prime wasn't with us last show.
No. Sorry about that.
No, you good. But no, his name means hero. I would be happy with either one of them. But I think if Bijon, if he pulls us there at 10, that's hard to fucking pass up, given the way our offensive line blocks.
That is a hard one. I agree with you. That's definitely a hard one.
6.1 yards per carry.
I mean,
and the way he moves and stuff, and the way his route running, and then he's a complete package. He blocks. He does everything. But there has been rumor that they've been shopping Derrick Henry.
I mean, Derrick, like that. That's another thing. Like, obviously, it's great. On paper, great. I just come on, man. I don't want to pay money for a running back who's been in the league for 7 years.
He's probably got about 3 tires left. I mean, he was on 4.
But see, hear me out. We're a running team, but who are our receivers?
Yeah, well,
you cannot load up the box thinking you about to stop Derrick Henry.
Well,
who's our quarterback?
I'll take Charbonnet from UCLA, and it'd be cheap on 4 years. I wow him for 4 years.
All right, so let's just say that Henry is an option. What are we giving up for him? What do you guys think we got to give up?
Probably a 3rd or 4th round pick. I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I'm definitely all with that, but I just don't see just a 3rd.
It would be fun to watch. It would be fun to watch.
It definitely will be fun to watch.
I'm just saying. It's like, you remember when we had the big homie here, the Garrett Blunt.
Oh, absolutely. That's another. That's why I'm with it.
And this is
gotta have that big back.
And this is the thing too. Say we actually get us a 3rd receiver that can actually is reliable, and we don't have to worry about every time the ball goes to him whether he's going to fumble or not or catch it. That's why I talk with this voice inflection, because he was pissing me off. But as I digress, just think of that offense and the threat of Jalen Hurts running the ball, and the threat of the other 2 guys beating you either over the top or whatever. Who are you gonna stop?
Well, let's talk about digress. We are talking about the defensive line here.
Yeah, defensive apologies.
We're talking about the secondary. We're almost there. There go.
Last week was slightly depressing, talking about Miles and all that stuff. So it was just like I caught up with the show, but I'm glad I stepped out. I wasn't in that one.
Was you gonna start crying?
Not that, but I mean, like, I got my man up on the wall back
Hey, so any guy that goes up on your wall will be let go the next season.
No, because I made a big decision for this upcoming season. You know what I mean? Stay tuned because Miles is coming down, but I got somebody in the works that you can never take down, so I'm good. I'm good where I'm at.
Okay. Well, look at the secondary real quick. Darius Slay obviously balled out. You know, people didn't realize he was playing with an injury halfway through the season. James Bradberry, man, he brought it last year. Talked about Brandon Graham early in the season, said James Bradberry was the guy in the offseason that was picking things up, and he really definitely put it down for the season. Marcus Epps, some who questioned his play, at the end of the day, he showed you what he was, gave you some good play for his first year as a starter. CJ Gardner Johnson, a guy who really balled out. You know, even though he got injured, he still led with 6 interceptions on the year. Avonte Maddox dealt with that foot injury at the middle of the season, but Avonte had a good year as well. I thought in terms of having a secondary this dope. It's been one of the best secondaries I've seen in a long time. They put together a really good group. You know, Reed Blankenship gave you some good snaps. You know, Zach McPherson, still waiting to see what he is as a player.
Oh God.
Kayvon Wallace, another player he's
you know what?
At times he gave you some plays this year. At times,
you know what? Kayvon actually he didn't live up to the total bill. But he was not totally out of position like he was in the previous years. I don't know if you paid attention to some of his angles on tackles where he was supposed to be he was the only man left in the hole. His angles left a little something to the imagination. And Josiah Scott, they just played him close. He just it's like he's a player kid. It's like you had to play a corner all game and then you moved him to safety and expect him to know he's got over the top. He's coming down. Yeah, it was so fucked up. It was one game. It was one of the games we ended up losing. But I think I want to say Slay. They got behind Slay, and I know he should have looked who the safety was.
Cowboys.
Because yeah.
It was the 3rd and 30. What was it? 3rd and 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, like can't ever forget that one. I mean, like, look, again, another nice lineup there. Next man mentality. We're set there. We have Slay coming back. CJ is definitely the one on the radar that we got to go ahead and work something out with. Bradberry, I don't know, man. I mean, as much as I would love to keep him here, but with the money he's asking for, I mean, I'm not the financial guy. I'm not Howie. If he can figure something out, you know, I mean, big ups for that. But if not, I get it. It's part of the business. But $15 million per year. 3 years. I mean, it's tough. It's tough to go ahead and match up.
I was watching Derek Gunn today.
Mm-hmm.
He did mention something about
what?
I don't know, man. About a trade for Slay.
Trade for Slay.
Yeah, I was like, I just gotta make sure I heard what I thought I heard. That was out there. Like I was like, let's not get crazy here.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah.
Let's not. And the other thing I want to mention about Marcus Epps. I mean, I saw one of the comments that he needs to work on some things. Hey, listen, truth be told, yes, he does. But he had an awesome year. Played his position great. Another one I'm gonna go ahead and take credit for. You know what I mean? Because I had that big brother, the little brother, talking with him at the Eagles Autism, letting him know, yo, you are the man, regardless of what people outside are saying about you. You know what I mean? You just go in there, do your thing, and he did his thing. He played to his potential. So I mean, big ups to the little man. Shout
out to Cut Me Open Bleed. I Bleed Green says Chauncey and Dak both led the league in interceptions.
Yep. and Dak missed 5 games. They both missed 5 games too.
So CJ was pretty much telling Dak, just keep throwing it to me.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the one thing is like we're talking about Epps. He does need to. Somebody was talking about him wrapping up on tackles. He does need to wrap up on tackles.
Yeah.
And in the Super Bowl, that coverage, I blame that on coaching. I was like, they didn't look prepared. They look like the fucking Keystone Cops out there on Super Bowl Sunday. When you see that type of stuff and that type of disarray, that means you're not even practicing. It's like sometimes when we first started running blitzes, it just looked like shit. It looked like we didn't even practice them in practice. The way you get good at things is to practice over and over again. When you have an off season, you have to come back and practice because you have to get those muscles back to where they were when you left. Right. It's like, and the only way to do that is practice. I don't know no other way to say it. And we don't look like we practiced anything that week. It's like they ran the same shit that the Jacksonville Jaguars ran against us on those 2 touchdowns. The exact same shit. And to me, that's coaching. That's good. We ran the same bullshit again because what does Jonathan Gannon do? He does not change what he's doing. And it'll get you to the Super Bowl with the right personnel, but somebody's always going to be there to kick your ass when you continue to do the bend but don't break. You'll give up the 3rd and 31s. You'll give up those type of plays on bend but don't break. It's like, it's not rocket science. If it's 3rd and long, you make that motherfucker make a quick decision, and you have good guys on your back end to make quality tackles and get the fuck off the field. It ain't that hard.
Yeah, good guys on your back end. It ain't that hard, huh?
I said good guys on the back end. I don't know. I know your other screen has Pornhub on it. He's up there, buddy hacker.
Relax, Dick Cheney, as you would say.
No,
so talk about
right,
So we're letting Bradberry walk out the green pastures.
Yeah,
is that what we're saying?
Yeah. I think
gotta accept it.
This is what really quick sidebar. I think they should add a little bit more competition. Once we see what they're gonna do with the guys that we're gonna keep, if we're gonna stay or who's gonna stay, they should add some more competition to the secondary. Yeah, especially because Maddox, as much as I love Maddox, he kind of screwed the pooch. I don't think he was ready. I think he just wanted to play in the Super Bowl. I don't really think he was ready, or our coaching staff didn't do what they were supposed to do properly, and had him out of position a lot. So everybody looked bad. But I think they add a little bit more competition. That's what I'm expecting them to add some more competition, because even though we had a great passing defense, it's not you can't live off of last year. So I think we reinforce the secondary and come back with a bit of vengeance. There's gonna be some people smiling, but it's gonna be some people crying.
Now, according to Spot Track, Chauncey Gardner Johnson's market value is $13.3 million average annual salary. Market value is a 5-year, $66 million deal. Average salary $13.3 million. What do you guys think about that? You wanna pay that? I mean, obviously you got to pay the man what he's worth, but are you willing to invest money there, or are you looking elsewhere?
What do you mean? Hold on. What do you mean? What do you mean?
We got a show to run. I got to ask you the question, my guy.
Oh, sorry. Is that even a question?
Yes,
it's a legitimate question.
I'm trying to set you up here. I'm trying to set you up. So, like, if
he's one of the best safeties in the league currently. We've been longing for somebody like this for quite some time, since old number 20 roamed the. I'm not going to anoint him to that yet, but we haven't had this type of safety play in a long ass time. Malcolm Jenkins did pretty good. Dawkins, he did all right, but we haven't. I'm on the same draft class. I can say what I want. But it's like, but when you look at our safety play, I think he makes us better. Not only for the safeties, but also being able to cover different guys and receivers and stuff. His speed and ability, his ball hawking, and not only that, I don't know if you guys notice how he pays attention to the whole game as the route's developing, and when somebody comes in his area and once the ball is thrown,
he'll drop off.
No, he'll drop off and come get a pick.
Yeah. So see, I'm trying to set you up. Well, I do have to ask the question. You have to. It's kind of like the softball. You hit it out the park, but then
okay.
So if you're going to invest your money, and you only have one to choose, only have one to choose.
I have one to choose.
Keep Hargrave or CJGJ.
Man, that's a tough one, but I'm gonna have to go with CJ, bro.
I got to go with Hargrave. I'm sorry.
See, this is where I was leading you to. I was leading you to.
CJ is not going to get shit without what Hargrave do.
That is an accurate answer, but we have other people that could fill in that position.
Like who else had 11 sacks?
I mean, you got. Hey, listen. Look, I get it, but
who had 11 sacks in the interior?
There was no opportunity for nobody else because Hargrave was doing his thing the whole time. They were going to
get 5. Who even looked like they were going to get 5? When the chips were down,
who led the team in interceptions? Who did his part? 5 games, you know what I mean? Still came back and played his ass off. Who shut
you
shit
still got to
down?
read Blankenship.
Who was covering the field?
White chocolate.
You know what I mean? Like that man.
White chocolate.
Hey, Blankenship. Hey, listen, man. Props to Blankenship. I would love to see that kid, you know what I mean?
You call him Blankenship?
Blankenship.
You talking to him or me?
You called him Blankenship? You should call him white chocolate?
I called him white chocolate.
And then you called him Blankenship.
Blankenship.
This is a good question, man. Like, I mean, a lot of people like you got to choose one. I put see how I put you right back in your box. And you're like, I got to pick Hargrave. That's what I was trying to see where you go with this. Being a former defensive tackle, maybe you're a little biased. No.
Well, no, but see, but this is what I do because you obviously you want to keep both. I was like, so one of them, whoever you're closest to negotiating the contract with, you negotiate their contract, and the one you can't negotiate the contract with, you franchise that ass until y'all can negotiate something. It's gonna sting a little, but in the end, it'll be all right.
So Bob from Down Under says Jesse Bates is available. Will you pay $14 million a year? Does Howie Roseman even value paying safeties? When was the last time we paid a safety? I'm just thinking off the top of my head. When was the last time we paid a safety?
We paid Malcolm Jenkins.
Malcolm Jenkins.
Yeah.
But then let Mans walk.
Our guy. No, I mean our guy. What you call it? CJ. I think he'll pay CJ. But I think CJ will be less than trying to bring Bates in because Bates. You got to think Bates. We're trying to lure Bates in. CJ's already been here. CJ already likes it here.
Bob from Down Under says keep both Dick Cheney.
Yeah, keep both Dick Cheney. Yeah.
Okay. If he makes it work like we know he can work the cap, it'll be interesting to see. But then again, you like. I don't know, man. This kind of shit. I've been losing sleep over the last couple of days, knowing that this period's coming up. I'm like, we're gonna obviously play Jalen Hurts,
right?
You guys lose sleep, or no? You guys been sleeping like a baby ever since?
Sleeping like a baby right now.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's that because what you.
I'm telling, man. I think Howie's gonna go ahead and make the right moves. You said way earlier in the show, it's kind of hard to go ahead and definitely run it back the same way he did last year. I get it, but he started a good trend, and I think he's going to continue it on. So I think he'll be fine, man.
The one thing I do know is like I haven't lost any sleep because it's not my job to make these decisions, but it is our job to talk about it. It's like I mean I don't put like. You ask me who I want. It's like, but I don't get to make the decisions. So I'm not gonna lose no sleep over nothing I can't control. I know you ain't talking. My light skinned friend.
I talk. My dark skinned friend.
T. Carmack says, how many years are you hoping for Hurts contract extension? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 10 years? Me myself, 6 years for Hurts would be nice.
Yeah, man. I'm in that range with you, bro. I think 5-6 years would be nice. 10 years, pushing it too much. A lot of people have been calling for that. Not really a fan of that. Yeah.
No, I'm not. No,
6 years.
You know what? I'm a fan.
I'm good with the 5-6. I'm good with the 5-6.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm good with the 5 or 6 because you never know. You never know what might happen. You might fall out of love with him. It's gonna be cool.
Hey, man. I mean that's gonna be interesting. So we're thinking 45, close to 50,
something like that.
Close to 50.
Yeah,
it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy.
It's going to be redonkulous.
Like I get that you have to pay. I just like, man, when I first, it's funny because when you first saw the Kirk Cousins deal, all that guaranteed money, 3 years, and
he sucks.
I was like, God damn! And then
he sucks ass.
You saw the
I hate Kirk Cousins.
The deal that KC gave your boy Mr. 15 over there.
Oh yeah.
You thought that was crazy. Now you look at the market and you're like, you got a deal for number 15. I don't want to say the man's name because I'm still a little hurt.
Well, who ruined that for us? Who ruined that for us? Like, I know y'all talked about it. I know y'all talked about it last week. Well, not just
talking about Deshaun Watson?
No, I'm not talking about Deshaun Watson. I'm talking about who ruined that feeling on our squad, in our organization, that we were so hyped up, you know what I mean, to go ahead and sign that man, and then he shit the bed. You know what I mean? And I was one that was on the train all the way, and then look, it was hard. And I'm talking about Carson, you know? I'm talking about Carson.
Oh God. Oh, you were on that train? Hell no.
I was, man.
I don't even know bring that
hey, the only train I'm on is the Philly Sports Trips train. If y'all
Philly Sports Trip.
If
Friday
y'all looking to go on a little trip, shout out to Philly Sports Trips. They're doing the damn thing over here. Even answering questions in the comments. They also asked another question, which is 4th and Jawn going to the NFL draft. We're trying to put on a Tank Dog's going on a plane. We're trying to do a draft show at the Hard Rock Cafe live. That's something in the works. Trying to get that off the ground. But shout out to Philly Sports Trips, man, doing the damn thing. They're not only doing Eagles games, they're doing Sixers games, they're doing soccer stuff.
Union.
I said Union stuff.
Sixers.
Soccer. I want to go to a Union game this year.
I think so too, man. Vince, if you watch it, you know what I mean, holler at us, because I definitely would love to join you.
You never been to
I've been to one. It was great, and I definitely want to be in that. I don't know what they call it. There's a section where it's like rowdiness, the drums.
Yeah, no. I was in the owner's box.
Oh, shut up, man.
Come on, man.
I'm talking about being in that section. That's the section I want to be in. I want to be with the rowdy crew. So
I just want to be in a section where the bathroom is right there, and I got a ball ass spread of 5 vittles.
You want to be? I just want to be singing a doop 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 doop. I don't even know what that means.
Don't forget my damn Skippy t-shirts on Philly Sports Shirts and stuff.com. You know.
Yeah, I mean, so moving on the conversation, we kind of went through some of the positions on defense, but the combine. I mean. We talked about some players that stood out. Any other players you want to shout out?
I shout out Charlie Jones. Charlie Jones. I started looking at receivers because the disdain I have for Quez Watkins and his tomfoolery over this past season reminded me of Nelly himself. But the Charlie Jones is the kid. He's like a kid out of Purdue. Like I think he ran a 4.4 or 4.39 or something like that. But even when I watched him at Purdue, he was handling his business. And a kid, Matt Landers, out of Arkansas, about 6'5", 197 pounds of pure speed. Like I think he ran like a 4.3 something. He was rolling like a deer. But it's a couple of sleepers in the receiving corps because we do need a third receiver. Did you like the kid out of SMU? Kid, his name is
Rashee Rice.
Yeah, Rashee Rice.
Yeah. Tank.
Yeah, Tank Dell. Tank Dell. Yeah. He's small. He's small, but his route running was.
He's twitchy as hell, man. When we talk about we could use a guy on special teams as well.
Mm-hmm.
That could actually get on the field
and
as
return
well.
the ball. Well, yeah,
not just. I mean,
I
know
what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
It was like that was just like a waste of a receiving position because you didn't really put him out there. You kind of want somebody who you can use and who you're not afraid to use, and you build that confidence in. And and somebody who knows the playbook. So
now T Carmack says wide receiver out of Ohio State, JSN.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, I mean he's a guy that I definitely he's one of those guys that could step right in. I think that fight for who is wide receiver one. I think Jordan Addison from USC, also formerly from Pitt, in the mix right there. I think those guys. I feel like I'm glad I don't have to rely on a wide receiver in the first round. Like I feel like we got our guys. It's now about finding.
We still got to find that third weapon.
Yeah, I'm thinking about third round type, or I'm not really trying to pay that right now in like the first and second round.
Last week we was talking about the dude Branch out of Alabama, as he's like a hybrid safety / guy, kind of like almost like CJ. But there's also the kid out of Illinois that played with Devin Witherspoon. He came in and toasted at the 4.4 at a 4.47 playing safety. And I was watching some of his film. Pops off the tape at you. Him and Devin Witherspoon. Man, that was like one of
Sidney Brown. Sidney Brown, right?
Sidney Brown.
Yeah. So I feel like there's something with former Canadians, man. Sidney's a former Canadian football player. They got like an edge on him. You got a little edge on him because they got that hurry up. Because the players don't. Like they're from Canadian, they're not going to ball out. But at the end of the day, he was a captain for their Illinois. Yeah. He was another dude at the Senior Bowl that stood out, dude. Like every single person, I'm like, yo, what you think of Sidney Brown? Like, besides them talking about his abs, like the dude wore the cutoff, was ripped, shredded. Man, we shredded. I'm just saying. I'm saying his play, and then they were like, dude. They're like, this dude out here looks the part, plays the part, and is also a leader off the field as well. So you like that? Let's see. Who else? Sean says Trey Palmer out of Nebraska, one of his favorites. I mean, Helene's on the Devin Allen tip right now. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, the weird thing is we'll see what Devin Allen has because he's went through one training camp and he knows what it's like to go through an NFL training camp now. Let's see if he has what it takes to come back and do the same thing. But I guess he's got to do more. I don't know what more he can do besides that head fake and swim and that touchdown. What was it, 50-yard touchdown pass? Toast. Wasn't nobody even near him. Devin Allen.
Todd from down south, saying Dane Henley, nice ball hawk linebacker.
Yeah,
but we know Eagles don't value that position.
I like him. I like
only
Henry
third
out
round.
Of Alabama. Henry Toto out of Alabama was up. I like him. He was pretty good.
Who else? Christian Gonzalez. I thought he had a good.
That was one that stood out for me. Yeah,
is it because he's Latino? Is that why?
Yo, that's what I do, man. I gotta look out for my, Latino people. They gotta get some type of spotlight.
I did like Drew Sanders too. Drew Sanders is a linebacker out of Arkansas, about 6'5", 230, 233. He was great on. He was just did great on the drills and stuff, and he looked like a real linebacker. Well, no, the funniest part was he was the only white guy amongst a bunch of brothers. And he was standing there amongst all the linebackers. I was like, wow, he must really be tough because he had to go through some. What? He was the only one. I'm just, but too soon? I thought we were in circular track.
Too soon. Sean shouts out Andrew Voorhees from USC. Obviously, he tore his ACL during a drill. That I hated to see that. Also ended up doing 38 reps, torn ACL and all.
Sit your ass down.
As a football coach, you wouldn't be like, nah. Nope. I mean,
no,
why?
No,
you're not impressed?
I don't know, man. I mean,
why are you mad? The dude tore his ACL and then got on the bench.
I'm not one to be mad at that. I'm not, but I mean,
I'm not going to be mad at it, but I can't use that. That's like stomping on a banana.
What is it?
I know, but like he couldn't do anything else. He tore his ACL.
I'm just curious. I'm just curious to know, like, what is that? What does that do?
I'm just saying.
I get what you're saying. I do, bro. But I'm just asking the question. I'm putting you.
Because he could easily sit his ass down after he tore his ACL. But he said, "Nah."
I'm not talking
I'm gonna go
about that. I'm
bench.
just saying, what does benching got to do with, I mean, like
playing. He could be a
that's what
big
I'm
pudding.
saying.
Look
That's
like
what I'm
Tarzan to
saying.
play like James.
I'm just saying from a heart perspective. I'm not saying
Okay.
anything else. That's
Somebody
all
kick
I'm
his heart
saying.
out.
I'm giving him a
Kick his heart out.
I'm giving him a clap for actually doing something after he tore his ACL. He didn't have to do that.
Give him
You
a
know?
high five.
He
Yeah,
did.
I'm trying to we're trying to give some feel good stories at the end of the podcast.
There
Where
ain't no
it's like,
damn
oh,
feel
All
good
right.
story.
Moving on.
this guy.
Moving on. I can't get that time back out of my life.
T Carmack says hi at Tennessee. What you guys think? Got some
like
juice, man. I don't
Yeah.
think
He's
I
gonna
think
fall
he's
to us.
I thought he would run faster, to be honest.
Yeah, but he still has his pro day though.
I thought he was 4.3 guy.
I mean, as against the competition, he looked like he was a 4.3 guy. That's all that really matters. When you turn on that tape, he's blowing by guys like they're standing still.
See, Bob from Down Under says, "Well said, Gail. That is balls and heart."
Yeah, his balls was in his face. Get the hell out of here. Come on, Bob. We cannot use bruised fruit. Bruised fruit are for the cobblers.
Damn, that shit still exists.
Yo, if
I see a bottle anywhere back there, bro, I'm done.
Yo, if I see how impressed I would be if I saw Tank fall down and he had a beer in his hand and he fell and tore his ACL and still didn't spill an ounce of beer on the ground and he was on the ground torn ACL and he didn't spill a beer, I would be impressed. I would be like, you know what? He tore his ACL, but he didn't spill the beer.
I'm a man. I'm a man, and I win.
That would be natural for him.
Yes. I'm like, me spill beer? You know that's alcohol abuse, don't you? When you spill a drink, that's alcohol abuse. That's almost a 211. Look it up.
187 on a beer. Shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn, who's at work today, doing the Lord's work as usual. Sometimes you're called to do the duty. Shout out to Mal, who's probably playing father duty right now, changing diapers, also doing the Lord's work. I don't know nothing about changing diapers, but shout out to you guys who are out there changing diapers. It's got to be a dirty thing. You still got to change diapers?
Me? Of course, man.
Damn right. He got another baby. I'm going to let y'all talk for
He's 2. He's 2 years old. Of course, I got to still change diapers, man.
Yo, when you're watching the combine, are you wanting to run out there, see how fast your 40 is?
I do. And I mean, even though I question what does benching do for somebody playing the position, I've actually had the attempt to go to the gym and see how many reps I could actually get. So yeah, I mean, seeing the combine, you get that feeling, and you're like, damn, you know what I mean? I want to know what it's like.
It just shows if you're working hard in the gym.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're working, I mean, when I was playing, like the most I got was 16 at 225. Like,
okay.
But I was like, you know what I mean? Like, you see some linemen come in and don't put up the 225 for like 10 or 9 or 8. You're like, bro, what did you do in the offseason? If I'm out lifting you guys, then it's not good.
The thing that the 225 is supposed to test your endurance.
Okay.
So that's why I was like, you could bang. You got.
What was your combine number?
29.
29.
With a busted burst sack.
It's not impressive though.
Damn.
Yeah, it is. I didn't tear my ACL.
I don't care. It's not impressive. I'm a man. I'm right.
I was right. What else can you do? I was like, I still could play with a busted burst sack. I still can put these big beaters on you.
Shout out to Todd, who's also a ginger himself. He says that the ginger old lineman from Ginger Jesus School. Shout out to Cody Mock from North Dakota State.
Was he snagging too?
Yeah, he's the guy with no teeth. I met with him at the Senior Bowl. He's the guy. He can play 5 positions. At the end of the day, that versatility and the willingness to do that at the Senior Bowl, he was. I spoke to him and he was just like, you know, he's willing to play any position. I think if if Stoutland got his hands on him,
Right.
I think I always think like Stoutland gets his hands on him, and I did love that Stoutland was running the position drills on a few of those offensive line things. So I'm sure he saw his dudes.
What about Jair Brown? Am I saying it? Jair Brown? Jair Brown, Penn State safety.
I liked him.
I mean, I'm not a Penn State fan. I'm not really a fan of anybody coming from Penn State, but I got to give props, man. You got
wait a minute. Whoa.
Two key guys that are coming. I know Miles and Saquon. I know where you're going to go, but I'm just saying you got two key guys this draft, Jair Brown and Joey Porter Jr. So it's just like it's pretty big for those guys to get drafted at a high round. I think that'll be an interesting one because we question the safety position, CJ not being re-signed, not being franchise tag, Marcus Epps. So, are we going to sign one or the other? Or are we not going to sign? Are we going to go a different direction? So, just throwing it out there. I mean, there was a name that caught my attention as I watched a little bit of the combine. I didn't watch it too much. I admitted that to Hollis before we got on the show. I didn't really pay attention to the combine like that this year.
I wouldn't expect you to because you got a family and some kids and stuff, dude.
Well, no, it's not. It wasn't even all about. No, it wasn't even all about that. I mean, I know last week I didn't really want to talk about it. You know what I mean? But I was still in that mood. Not really like.
So did she put?
Yet, man. I wasn't
did
there
she
yet.
put jalapenos in the food?
Wifey always put jalapenos in the
food.
Well,
I just heard her come in there and ask you when I was on. I was like, I wonder does she know that I'm listening to them?
T. Carmack, he says running back Alabama Gibbs was a 4-1. Was it a 4? What was it, 4-1-9? I thought it was a 4-2.
Running back Alabama Gibbs. Let's see.
I think if you're gonna get a running back in the second round, if you're gonna move back from that 30 spot, I mean, I think there's a potential. I do think there's when I'm talking about the move down spots, I wouldn't mind moving down 2 spots from 10 to 12 if your guy's going to be there. I think from on the the 5th year option. Yeah, when we gave that little gift to the Baltimore Ravens, who are now deterring their quarterback from signing there, they gave him that little 5th year option with over there. Gibbs is nice though, man. Gibbs is dude's juiced up, man. Like he's one of those dudes, home run hitter.
Yeah,
good vision.
But then he's if you're gonna get somebody, depending on if Bijon is gonna be there, or the kid. I think they really covered the kid Rashawn. I think they covered him big time. They were pretty much Rashawn Johnson. They covered him big time.
It was a 4-3.
He was good. How much?
A 4-3.
Yeah.
But they said that they said the timing was off on it. That the time was not right on it.
Because Westcott ran a 4-4, but he actually ran a 4.39. Nolan Smith. So.
Okay.
I just work here.
Thank God.
Well, we couldn't ask you what happened at the combine.
You can't. But I mean, what difference does it make from a 4.4 to a 4.39?
I don't know.
Bragging rights.
It's a sack versus a quarterback hit.
If he would have got there a 0.2 earlier.
Bragging rights, man.
Dude, it'd be funny because it's like you say that, but it's like you just get as you get there, you just throw the ball. You're like, shit, I gotta turn and run now. But you just get there just a little bit sooner. Because if you get that a little bit sooner, he's gonna pull that motherfucker down because he don't want to throw a pick.
Right.
You see, Darnell Washington tied with another Georgia dude. Darnell Washington. It was funny. All the other tight ends were like moving the sled. Here comes Darnell Washington. Picked that whole thing, moved it 10 yards in the air. Darnell Washington, I'm telling you, man. You talk about having an extra lineman on the
dude. Why would you? Now we had this discussion last week. Why would you put him at offensive line? You see how?
I'm just saying.
Red zone to be 6'7". with that.
I'm just saying in the run game, we would be like having a extra lineman on the field who's athletically gifted.
You know what? It will be kind of awesome because you can put him and Dallas Goedert out there, but then you can run hurry up offense, and as you run hurry up, then you running, play action fake, toast.
Now, a couple of open Ivy Green says Howie's new draft strategy draft all Georgia and Alabama players. I mean, you can't. You're not going wrong.
You can't go wrong.
You're not going wrong. You're not going wrong, man. You're not going wrong.
And if you sprinkle a few Texas players in there,
is that because of
stay away from Oregon and the WAC 12, I mean Pac-12.
Oh, shots fired, man!
Shots fired. Mark ain't gonna like that.
Well, shots fired.
Shots just fired. But we want to give a shout out to we're still getting more details, but there's on April 22nd, 12 o'clock, 6 p.m. Jordan Mailata is doing a food truck fundraiser for autism. You can come meet Jordan Mailata, some of your favorite Eagle players, and other NFL greats at this family-friendly event. It should be a good time. I think we're going to be there in attendance. If Hollis is eating Grey Poupon, if Hollis is eating Grey Poupon somewhere at some fancy restaurant, April 22nd.
I may stop by and say hello. Hello.
It's a great cause. But we're still getting more information on that. We got news of that today, so I just want to put it out there. Put it on your calendar. Mark on your calendar. If you're around, it's a good cause. Hopefully, maybe Jordan Mailata sings. I don't know if you didn't get the album. You guys got the album? No,
I didn't get the album.
Christmas album.
It was $80.
I heard it.
I downloaded it for free.
Did you?
No.
I did.
Yeah, Hollis got LimeWire. Hollis got LimeWire.
What I do is I'm actually with the Eagles Autism. They have a alumni edition. I get your details on any events that I'm doing and raising. What's called them? What say? Take clothes well.
No, I'll let that one go. That's good.
You let that one go.
Yeah. Shout out to you, T. Carmack, for joining the show and giving your insights.
Giving your quality insights on the baller spread of fine free agents we got.
And now Jerome says, what location this is going to be? Let me see. This is at the location is at the Lighthouse Field at East Erie Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. 19140. Lighthouse Field is where the Jordan Mailata food truck fundraiser for autism will be. Tickets range from $10 to $50, but we'll have more information for you. Yeah, hopefully Jordan Mailata comes on the show.
That would be cool.
And
I get to ask him, did he get the mask? Because he still hasn't responded to that either.
Okay, we'll see. Well, right now I heard he is in Australia. He's having a rough go after this Super Bowl L.
Shit, wouldn't you?
No, I'm just saying. I'm giving you information.
I was trying
just
to
giving you
information.
Just giving you information. Just giving you information.
Nah, it was pretty rough. But I was a glutton for punishment. I watched it about 3 or 4 times.
I can't watch it again.
Because you're a psycho.
Slightly.
But before we get out of here, just want to give a shout out to Country Italian Bakery. We're not doing tailgates right now, but we always want to give them love. Shout out to Bud Light, who also held us down on the off season as well. Love me some Bud Light, man. Love me some Bud Light.
And it cools you off.
It is tasty.
And it's the great.
It is tasty.
Back to you, Chuck.
But before we get out of here, last word from you, Mr. Dick Cheney.
My bad, Dick Buckus. You know what? This is a great. I think this is a great time for us to lick our wounds and retool to get these birds back to flying. We got kicked. I think Roger Goodell has something to do with it. Yeah, I don't know why I was going with that, but nah, man, it's good to be back here, at least thinking about football. Because for a while, I don't know if I speak for the masses. I was totally fucking pissed. I wanted to kick everybody in their face who said "Go Chiefs." I wanted to kick every official that I saw in the nuts and slap the shit out of them. Especially one that threw their flag at the end of the game and didn't allow the game to materialize and let the players decide instead of him deciding. The one thing that I'm going to leave you guys with is that when you play this game, the officials are supposed to be seen and not heard. If you're going to call the game a certain way the entire game, don't wait to the end, because we all think that it's fixed once you do that silly shit. No matter how much to the letter of the law that call was or everybody thought it was, it still dictated the outcome of the game. So, with that being said, I watched the combine. I'm waiting on I'm going to Clearwater on check out the Phillies on Friday. I'll let you guys know how it was. It's going to be warm too.
I was hoping to make that trip, but you know, what I mean, work's kicking my ass, man.
Well, I'm going to make the trip.
Bougie ass motherfucker.
But nah, man. It just puts things in perspective. How close you could be to something, and it just slip out your damn hand.
Yeah.
Like your sandwich or something, or like the last piece of your donut. You know what I mean? Oh, Jaden Reed was bad too. I like that.
Yeah, I forgot. I just want to bring up Tim's comment. That Jaden Reed, shout out to him as well. But Big Primo.
That's all I got for you. And I'm glad to see Prime back, at least for a show and not out there bowling and shit, ditching his boys.
I ain't ditching my boys, man.
Sorry. We was all
I wasn't. Nah. It was end of month at the job, so I had to hold it down. Got out of work too late, so I apologize about that. But yeah, man. It feels good to be back on the podcast. I needed some time, man. That night we took the L. It didn't hit me as hard because I had a great time with my family, my friends, with you guys. The night went real good, and then the next day, the day after that one, it started kicking in, and it stuck with me for a little bit. I'm not. Yeah, it sucks to even talk about, man. This one kind of hurt. It's a hurt piece that is still in the back of my mind, but we move on. This is what it's all about. Today, franchise tagging. Next week, free agency hits. It's all about fixing things up, or putting better players in the position to go ahead and get us back to the promised land. So that's the part I'm looking forward to. Bob. This guy. Anyway, yeah. So it feels good to go ahead and get back into this position to go ahead and talk some football. I will do my due diligence by paying attention a little bit more to these drafts. Do a little bit more homework. Like I said, I definitely wasn't watching the combine like I normally do, but I see there is some talent out there. I think we're going to be able to fill in these positions pretty good. Again, just waiting to see how he's going to go ahead and do. With that being said, on a side note, I just want everybody to pretty much check up on your peeps, man. This is the time where we don't have the tailgates, the games going on, the interactions that we had during the season. So just check on your peeps. Today, I thought about a lot of people that, I got accustomed to seeing on Sundays, making sure they're good. Shit's starting to get crazy out there again. And, I got to say, a lot of people was depending on us, on the tailgates, on us getting together. It put them in a better mood. And not having this going on right now, you just worry about those people, making sure that, their mind's right and all that stuff, and not out there doing anything dumb. So if y'all get the opportunity, just shoot somebody a text, just show them that, you had them, you're thinking about them and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, I, like the rest of the crew, appreciate you guys tuning in, showing us the love that you guys constantly do. I appreciate you guys to the fullest. With that being said, go Birds. To the next one.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow that sentiment, Prime. One of my former teammates, shout out to Kevin Reed. He passed away a couple weeks ago. Went to his funeral this weekend. He was our team captain at the at Western Connecticut State. where I played. He was a dude that was the life of the party. He was our captain. He passed, and a lot of my teammates got together. We're talking like 20 years we haven't seen each other, but we all showed up at his funeral. You never know. He mentioned to one of our teammates, "Hey man, we got to see each other before we don't get an opportunity to see each other." Here we are. Step on your peoples, make sure they're good. And at the end of the day, man, call your friends, man. Like you said, man, you never know, man. So just make sure your family and friends are good. I for that same reason, I went back to my hometown, got up with all my homies. I didn't care where they were. I was like, yo, I'm gonna roll up. I'm in Connecticut for a day. I'm just rolling up to your house, wherever. If you're at your job, I rolled up. But at the end of the day, check up on your peoples, make sure they're good. And as always, it's fly, Eagles fly, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Go Birds.
Go Birds. And I'm trying to hit that button, man.
Trying to hit that button.